Quadratic equations, exercise number 4.3, and the fourth question, which is a word problem, says the sum of reciprocals of Rahman's ages 3 years ago and 5 years hence, that is from now, is 1 by 3. So I'm considering let Rahman's age, present age, be x years. So 3 years ago his age was x minus 3 years, and 5 years hence his age will be x plus 5. So it is given that the sum of reciprocals of his ages 3 years ago and 5 years from now is 1 by 3. So I take the LCM over here. This gets cross multiplied, and this will give you a 2x plus 2, and we cross multiply this, getting a quadratic equation. Now it would have been very easy for you to split up the middle term and get your answer. You know age cannot be negative. So the Rahman's present age is 7 years. However, if it is mentioned that use a quadratic formula, which normally is not present in the word problems, I have shown you a method here as well. So A is 1, B is minus 4, and C is minus 21. We need to find out D, which is a B square minus 4AC, and that has to be greater than 0 or equal to 0. This cannot be negative. So if I put that, I am getting the value of square root of D is 10. So this is the quadratic formula: minus B plus root D by 2A and minus B minus root D by 2A. If you put in the value over here and here and here, you will see you're getting two answers, 7 and minus 3. Age cannot be negative, therefore Rahman's present age is 7 years. Choose your method and proceed accordingly. In word problems, the splitting up of the middle term is faster. Then it is said that Shafali have got marks in maths and English, and the total is given to you as 30. So if her marks in maths were x, then in English she's got 30 minus x. And it is said that if we had increased 2 marks in maths and decreased 3 marks in English, then the product would have given you 210. So 30 minus 3 is 27. When I multiply, I get this quadratic equation, which I have used here, splitting up of the middle term. 156 को split करके, and then you're getting two answers. X is 12. X क्या था? Maths के marks थे. तो English के marks कितने हुए? 30 minus 12, which is 18. Or if X is 13, she got 13 marks in maths, which means 30 minus 13, she's getting 17 marks in English. Subsequently, if you are not comfortable with this, put A, B, C. This is an alternative method, and find out a D, which is B square minus 4AC. And I'm getting here 1. What I need is a square root of D, which is again equal to 1. So I put it in the quadratic formula, 1 with a plus D, 1 with a minus D. And I'm going to get the same answer. X is 13. If X is 13, then the value of 30 minus X would be 17. That means this is maths, this is English. And if X is 12, then the next value is 18. This is maths, this is English. The next one, it says that there is a rectangular field and the longest side is 60 meters more than the shortest. Now we know that the longest side here will be the hypotenuse. So therefore, it is 60 meters more than the shortest side, and the longer side here, the other side, is 30 meters more. This is given to you in the data. So therefore, I have taken the shorter side as x. The hypotenuse is 60 meters more, and the longer side is 30 meters more. So this is the diagonal, which is the longest side. And therefore, using the Pythagoras theorem, perpendicular square plus base square is equal to hypotenuse square will give me, on opening, this equation. I have taken A as 1, B as minus 60, C as minus 2700. Used it in B square minus 4AC, I get 14,400, the square root of which is 120. You can again use the splitting up of the middle term over here, but I am explaining both the methods. So once you get root d, put it in the quadratic formula with a plus d and a minus d, and you're going to get a 90 and minus 30. Side cannot be negative. So therefore the shortest side here is 90 meters. So the longer side is 90 plus 30, which is 120. They've not asked you the hypotenuse, that is the longest side. You could have, again I am repeating, in word problems you can use the splitting up of the middle term, that will be faster. But since this exercise is based on quadratic equations, I am doing a few questions with the quadratic formulae as well. Then the next one is very important. It says the difference of squares of two numbers is 180. So that means one is a bigger number and one is the smaller number. The square of the smaller number is 8 times the larger number. So let the larger number be x. That means smaller number square is equal to 8x. So if I have a larger number x, I'll have the smaller number as root 8x. This is very important for you to understand. It is given square of smaller number is 8 times the larger number. So let the larger number be x. That means square of smaller number is 8x. So the smaller number is root 8x. Now they have said the square of difference of two numbers, matlab bigger number square minus smaller number square is 180. So bigger number we have taken as x and the smaller number square will become 8x. So you get a quadratic equation. Put it in the quadratic formula. A is 1, b is minus 8, c is minus 180. I find out a d, which is b square minus 4ac, giving me a 784. So the square root of d is 28, and therefore I put it in the quadratic formula with a plus d and a minus d, giving me 18 as one value and minus 10 as the other value. I cannot take a minus 10 because smaller number हमारे पास क्या था, रूट 8x. अगर मैंने इधर minus 10 लगाया तो मेरी negative value आ जाएगी. Square root में negative value नहीं आ सकती है because we are defining real numbers. So I am getting 18 as the value of x, which was the larger number. So the smaller number was root 8x, which is equal to 12 if I take a square root. This would have been very very easy अगर आप यहाँ पे splitting up of the middle term करते. So I would have taken x square and 180 का मतलब क्या है, 18 into 10. So minus 18x plus 10x minus 180 is equal to 0. So this would have given you directly x minus 18 and x plus 10. It would have been a one line answer giving you x as 18, which I got over here, and x as minus 10, which we said is not possible. So the choice is yours how to go about it. Then the eighth one, and it says that a train is traveling the distance of 360 kilometers at a uniform speed. So the distance, we know speed is equal to distance upon time. So the time taken is distance upon speed. They are eventually asking you the speed of the train. Read the last line and that should be the beginning of your answer. The last line was find the speed of the train. So let the uniform speed of the train be x kilometer per hour. And the distance that it is traveling is given to you as 360 kilometers. So we know that time is equal to distance by speed. So initially time was 360 by x, distance by speed, और बाद में क्या बोला, the speed was increased by 5 किलोमीटर पर आवर, उससे इंक्रीज कर दी. तो एक टाइम था ये और एक टाइम है ये. अभी क्या बोला है, that if the speed was increased it would have taken 1 hour less for the same journey. मान लीजिए यहाँ पे 6 hours लग रहे थे. So if you increase the speed, now it is going to take only 5 hours. So it is going to take 1 hour less. That gives us an indication a -1 will come over to the left side. What am I doing? I am shifting this to the left hand side and 1 to the right hand side. And therefore, taking the LCM over here and then taking out a 360 common and cross multiply this gives you a quadratic equation. A is 1, B is 5, C is minus 1800. So I find out a D which is B square minus 4AC, and this is going to give me a 7225. So here when you use a quadratic formula, you should be aware of how to find out a square root. Otherwise, go in with the splitting up of the middle term. That's always better. And therefore, minus B plus root D by 2A and minus B minus root D by 2A will give you your answer as 40 किलोमीटर पर आवर, क्योंकि यहाँ तो देखो minus 90/2 नेगेटिव आ रहा है. So in a quadratic formula, only problem would be here. If you do not know how to find out the square root, you will get stuck up over here. And for one question, I am showing you how to find out the square root. See, this is 7, 2, 2, 5. So start making pairs from the left hand side. And now see which one is the nearest. 8 8s are 64 is the nearest. 9 9s will be 81. So 8 8s are 64. So you add a 8 over here. This becomes 16. And 72 minus 64 is 8. And then you check what should be the value put over here. 161 1s are, 162 2s are, 163 3s are. So we realize that it's a 165 5s are 825. So this is how you get the square root. The next one, the ninth one, and that says that we have two taps which fill up the tank. So I am taking, let the smaller tap fill the tank in x hours. So in 1 hour, it is going to fill 1 by x amount. And let the larger tap will take 10 hours less to fill up the tank. So in 1 hour, it will fill up 1 by x minus 10 amount of the tank. In 1 hour, the total amount of tank filled is 1 by x plus 1 by x minus 10. And it says the two taps can fill up the tank in 9 3 by 8 hours. तो अगर 1 आवर में इतना टैंक भरते हैं तो 9 3 by 8 आवर्स में कितना टैंक भरेंगे, मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा. ये अगर 1 से मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा था तो ये 75/8 से मल्टीप्लाई होगा. It says according to the question that in 9 3 by 8 hours it fills up the tank completely. ठीक है, तो is equal to 1. You cross multiply this and you are going to get a quadratic equation like this. You take out a 2 common जब इसको cross multiply करोगे and you will get a quadratic equation. Here, just to make it simpler, I have split up the middle term which is going to give me two values. एक आएगा 15/4 और एक आएगा 25. Now x हमने क्या लिया था, smaller tap का लिया था 25 hours, which means बड़ा tap will take 10 hours less, which is 15 hours. This was a valid answer, but क्या हो जाता है कि ये हमने बड़े टैप के लिए लिया है, तो छोटे टैप के लिए लिया है, तो बड़ा टैप वॉज टेकिंग 10 hours लेस. अगर मैंने इसमें -10 कर दिया, आई एम गोइंग टू गेट अ नेगेटिव वैल्यू. सो ये इसकी वैलिडिटी यहाँ पे ख़त्म हो जाती है. देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज द 10th वन. अगेन read the last line. The average speed of the passenger train और एवरेज स्पीड ऑफ द एक्सप्रेस ट्रेन हमसे पूछी थी. ठीक है, वी आर यूजिंग द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट. स्पीड इज इक्वल टू डिस्टेंस अपॉन टाइम, सो टाइम इज इक्वल टू डिस्टेंस अपॉन स्पीड. अब डिस्टेंस जो ट्रैवल किया है वो 132 है. तो क्या बोला है, अगर पैसेंजर ट्रेन है तो वो 132 किलोमीटर्स विद अ स्पीड ऑफ x किलोमीटर पर आवर जाएगी, और अगर एक्सप्रेस ट्रेन है सो इट्स स्पीड इज 11 किलोमीटर पर आवर मोर. तो क्या बोला है कि टाइम टेकन बाय एंड दे आर ट्रैवलिंग बिटवीन 2 stations. So it says an express train takes 1 hour less than the passenger train. अगर पैसेंजर ट्रेन 6 hours ले रही थी तो ये लेगी 5 hours, which means I know that -1 will come over here, and therefore shifting it to the left hand side and 1 to the right hand side, take the LCM, cross multiply, take 132 common and then get a quadratic equation. Now again I have shown you splitting up of the middle term. So we are getting what? 33, 11 threes are 33 and 11 fours are 44. So when you split up the middle term, you will see x is equal to 33 because you cannot have a negative value for speed. So x was the speed of the passenger train. अगर वो 33 किलोमीटर पर आवर थी तो express train will be 44 kilometer per hour. And the last one is एक स्क्वायर है छोटा और एक स्क्वायर है बड़ा. तो लेट अस सपोज द साइड ऑफ द स्क्वायर इज x मीटर. तो इसका पेरीमीटर कितना हो गया? 4x. अब एक बड़ा स्क्वायर दिया है. क्या बोला है? इन दोनों के पेरीमीटर्स का डिफरेंस है 24. तो इसका मतलब इसका अगर 4x है तो बड़े वाले का होगा 4x प्लस 24. एंड देयर फॉर पेरीमीटर मीन्स 4 साइड्स. तो एक साइड कितनी हो गई? डिवाइडेड बाई 4. दिस डिवाइडेड बाई 4 विच इज x प्लस 6. So it says that the sum of squares of their areas, इसका एरिया हो गया x square, इसका हो गया x plus 6 square is 468. And therefore, when you solve this, you get a quadratic equation. I have shown the splitting up of the middle term and 432 को मैंने पूरा 2 से डिवाइड कर दिया तो थोड़ा सा और छोटा हो गया. 18 and 12 will be the factors giving you 12 meters and minus 18. minus 18 हो नहीं सकता. तो अगर x is the side of the square is 12 meters तो इसकी साइड कितनी हुई? 12 plus 6 18 meters.